Hey, everybody, it's Etc. Show. I'm here. Paul's here. Joe is traveling. We talked about this during the Steelers show. We got to make fun of him because Joe wasn't traveling. He was stuck in Mississippi, and now, or what if, like we're all in different parts of the area. We could just say we're traveling. Yeah, I mean,
It makes me feel like I just never go anywhere.
well, or maybe I should just. I mean, you and I live close. We need to connect in person. We haven't done that for a while. I mean, we live an hour and a half away. I mean, not super close. Maybe I should film from a different part of my house and just say, "Hey, I'm in Texas today," and you're like, "Whoa, look at you, Chris." But I don't know. But good luck to Joe. Hopefully, he has a great trip, and we look forward to hearing back from him shortly. Got a couple quick segments on some fun stuff. I heard about the Fat Bear contest last year, or I think it was 2 years ago, a PR thing I was working on. Paul, I'm not sure if you know much about the Fat Bear contest.
I
Are you?
remember last time we talked about it, and I saw earlier today a headline about it.
Yeah, I'm. So here's, and we can talk a little bit more about the details another time. I've got a takeaway. I watch a couple really crappy reality shows like Big Brother and some other stuff, and you kind of feel a little bit intrusive. And Big Brother, you're watching people in a house for 90 days, and geez, could you imagine, Paul, if you had to be in a house for 90 days? You'd probably crack up and do weird stuff, and I'm sure I would too. But I kind of feel weird looking in at people like this. Well, this is kind of like a Big Brother for bears. And I don't know if I'd watch this as much, but there's a couple of interesting details. Maybe we should have more like of these type of reality shows with animals. Are we missing something here, or is this something that is fun to talk about on podcasts, but will we ever watch this? For a long time.
I mean, aren't there like National Geographic Channel, the Discovery? I mean, I feel like there's animal, like they just plant cameras in the jungle and just watch, and then you get some David Attenborough kind of guy to narrate what's out. I feel like that's a thing already.
Yeah, and this is like from the National Park Service, but it's kind of like a marketing trick. You know what I mean? It's not like they pretty much just say, "Hey, here's some cameras. You can watch the Bears, vote in your favorites," and good for their market team. I mean, it's gotten pretty popular, but yeah, that's pretty much all it is. Heck, you could do that at your work. Just put a camera in a church and say, "Hey, this is a reality show," and I guess if people watch it, good for you. I don't know.
Well, we have security cameras in the office complex, so
There you go.
I could give you the login information. You could just watch me work all day, and you could fall asleep.
Hey, I'm trying to get more views for our YouTube channel. Hey, if I can do that, maybe we do that. You don't have to talk or anything. Like you don't have to give or maybe look at the camera once or twice a day and go, "Hey, I'm Paul. Here's what I'm doing." But the
Like,
rest
oh,
of the people watch it.
he's at his desk on his laptop. Oh, he's out in the administrative area on the computer. Oh, he's back to his laptop and his computer.
Well,
Oh,
maybe
he's going
there's
to the bathroom again.
yeah. Yeah, please leave the bathroom door shut if we're doing that. But I think there's maybe like a relaxation with that. You think? Like today, I worked in the office all day, which is nice. But I had to have a little radio on in the background to listen to something. I mean, I don't know if staring at you working would do it for me, but maybe there's like a companionship type thing. Like uh, I guess if I watch you all day, I mean, maybe I couldn't talk to you, but I'm like, "Hey, Paul's here. It's okay."
that, that
If
would
you're feeling
be
alone, just
a very worrying level of loneliness if you had a webcam of just watching me work just for comfort. That would be a level at which we have to like insist that you start therapy.
yeah, that's true. Or what if you talk during? Well, I mean, you would talk during your job, I'm sure. But what if your job had you talking all the time, so you could hear Paul talk? You know what I mean? Well, like I'm sure you working, you're not. You're probably talking what 10% of the time, maybe, or 20%
Well,
of the time.
I feel like if I am talking, it's probably because somebody needs to talk, and at that point, I'd have to mute the
Oh,
audio.
yeah, that's true. That's true. We wouldn't want that. Well, it could be a very interesting show, but probably not good for your work life.
No.
Yeah, we call it like taxi confessions, like real confessions of the doctor's office. And heck, man, uh, I've heard you guys are doing okay financially and everything's fine, but man, Paul, what about revenue opportunity though? You know, get them to sign off on what do you call it, disclosure agreement. And man, if you can tape some of this conversation, say, charge what, $10 a month for subscriptions? I tell you, you never know.
Oh, I'd feel so dirty.
That could fund
Yeah.
you guys forever. I mean, you're probably building on, probably like, man, with all this money we're making, now we're expanding the church and everything.
I don't know. Maybe I could like. It might be risky, but maybe if I really talk to the elders about it, like I'll take my shoes and socks off and just put my
No,
feet up on the desk.
no, no.
Just have a webcam on my feet for all the feet people.
I think they'd probably rather be comfortable having you film, real people talking. You know what I mean? I think that would be better. Or this could be something, it might be a little creepy, but what if you hired actors, and not even hired actors, just have people come in and just make up stuff? You know what I mean? Like, a couple coming in with marital issues, but not, you're not filming a real couple talking about their marital issues. Just have two random people come in, hey, pretend to be a couple, and you can film that.
Yeah, I could. I'll set aside a half hour every day and do my own version of Duck Dynasty. Just have like
Yes.
really
Yeah.
off the wall stage conversations in the office.
And these could all be staged. And honestly, I mean, it would be unethical if you call them real or something, or if you say, hey, these are real people. Just, it could be like your half hour segment. I don't know. Maybe that'll work. That seems shady. I mean, it's almost like you're putting your feet on me. I just would be, that would be awkward. So I
Maybe that could be the new Office spinoff. It'll be just me in the
yes,
office.
Paul in the office. I am looking forward. The Office spinoff is having journalists on there where
Oh,
they're, I don't know if you heard about that. They're filming like the new version of the NBC Office. They're going,
oh, it's like a newspaper company or something, right?
yeah. And me being a journalist, man, I'm down. I can't wait to see that.
Did you see
Um,
the? I don't know, like who, but I know in the previews it. I don't like the creators of The Office or directors, whatever. But there's I forget the name of it, but it's based in a hospital. It's kind of like that documentary style in a hospital.
yeah, I think I've seen that. Yeah, it's kind of like that same format, but they're doing like with the hospital, like
Yeah,
life in the hospital or something. I'm intrigued. I think it's the same people that did The Office and Parks and Rec. So
yeah.
I'm intrigued. Well, on Amazon, they have like the Australian version of The Office, which is similar, but it's just different characters and it's with Australian accents. And I'm not sure if I understand Australian accents that well. It's on Amazon. I got so much crap to watch. See, here's the problem. I've been watching Big Brother too much. Thank goodness that's. But now the Steelers are doing okay. I hate to say this, Paul. I'm probably not a big football fan, but could you imagine if the Steelers were 2-6 right now? I could be like, hey, I don't need this. I can catch up all these other shows, but now I got to pay attention to the Steelers now because they're playing pretty well. So I don't know. The other thing I want to mention from this story, and we can put the link up, there was a death, and I don't know if this was covered on the show or not, but there was a bear who went on the offensive, and a mother bear defended her cubs, and the the attacking bear injured the cub, and the cub died from its injuries.
Oof.
Now I don't know if this appeared on the show or if this was kind of like, hey, this is kind of like their backstory or something. Thank goodness that stuff doesn't happen with Big Brother. Like I don't think I've ever seen someone die. There have been fights. I think there have been people who have been asked to leave the show because of fighting, but no one's died of injuries. So
It's very sad to say, but I feel like in America, if there is a possibility of people dying on a reality show, that would be the most watched show by far.
yeah, ratings galore. Yeah, Survivor did that so often. They'd be like, oh, like they would show a preview and the guy would be hurt in the forest, and yeah, most of the time they were hurt, but they weren't dying or anything. But it's just a shock value of that. So, well, let us know what you think. Give us a like, give us a subscription if you could. Would you watch this bear reality show? It's out there. Are you into it? Would you check out more? Um, I'm sure that there's YouTube clips of past seasons or everything. Or are you ready for the real? Would you rather watch real people on reality shows, or maybe it's better not to watch reality shows? I think that's probably the right answer. But let us know what
Bring
you
back
think.
Meerkat Manor.
Yes. I watch too much reality shows. I think that's my answer. But for Paul, this is Chris. Have a good one. All right, Paul. I like these stories. I shared a few story about there was a 100-year-old overdue library book. Apparently, this is in Denver. Woman was looking for books that she was going to donate to charity. She came across a copy of Shakespeare's Henry the Fifth, I believe, and she was like, "Whoa, what a book! Probably worth some money too." But then when she opened up the book, it was from the local library. Last checkout was February 1st, 1923. So the
Oof.
book was out for over 100 years. And we've seen these books and uh, looking to see what happened. The
Sure, it
library,
wasn't just it wasn't acquired through like a book sale the library did, and it.
it could have been, but back then, they wrote in like the checkout times, and the last one was from 1923. So
Yeah, but it's
they were,
Shakespeare though. I mean, are people really taking Shakespeare out on the daily?
yeah, I don't know. Well, the library waived the late fee penalty, so thank goodness. Um, Man, they said the library
I
charges.
bet you there was no waiting list for it.
Yes. Well, and now the library is charging 10 cents a day for a fine. So, it probably wasn't 10 cents back then, but man, how big was the fine? But, Paul, I don't mean to be mean. I like books, I like libraries, but I think the libraries need to rethink what they're doing. And they're starting to do this now. I get that. But I think we need to speed up the process. I love books, but Paul, people aren't going to libraries for books anymore, sadly. That is true.
Some
Um,
people are.
yeah, they are, but I mean, I think overall, are they? So here's what I'm thinking. I found something that overwhelmed me. I thought this was really cool. For my new job, they gave me a couple books for me to take a look at. And it's hard for me to buy books. And if I get them from a library, I usually forget to ever bring them back. And I either get library fines or down where I live in Columbus, there's a lot of libraries that don't find anymore, but they start bugging you about it. And they email you every day. It gets a little rough. There's a Libby program. I'm not sure if you guys
Yep.
have that up where you live, but
Yeah.
you can download books on your phone. And the great thing about it is you can download 20 at a time. You get for 3 weeks. After it's done, it's done. They send you a note saying, "Hey, not on your phone now. You can renew it." And again, it's tough for people who like to read and everything, but I've got an idea. Why don't we take our current libraries and make them more into internet centers or centers where people can use the internet? Because right now we have a problem with the internet. Like the internet's not really getting as many homes as we hoped. And I've worked for government programs that try to give money to local internet companies to say, why don't you run more lines in different places and everything? And that never works because companies aren't willing to do it. So what I'm saying is turn your libraries into more internet centers to give people access to internet that don't normally have the internet. For the books, have some books around if people want to borrow them, but sell off a lot of your books and have an ongoing book sale, not just for the library to sell its books, but like I know you like to read a lot. Say you wanted to give some books back. It could be kind of like an ongoing trading center. So if you're a book lover,
But
you can still go to the library, but instead of taking out a book that you may forget to send back, so there's not a story 100 years from now about you forgetting to do a book. It could be kind of like a community center where you're trading books back and forth. Maybe you can buy them for 50 cents a piece or something. And I think this could be
you're
something
kind of
that,
describing current libraries.
yeah, but they're not doing that. Yeah, you're right. I am kind of describing the libraries, but like I think to the library in my area, there's still a ton of books. There is some places for people to work at, but I know there's times where my internet's not working in my house and I go up there. It's always filled. I mean, there's days where I literally can't sit down anywhere. because there's still a ton of books around. So you're right. Libraries are moving in this direction. I'm kind of describing the libraries, but I'm saying let's revamp them even more. Take out your current books, but have them more as a book sale instead of like borrowing this book. Because like right now, the idea of borrowing a book and paying fines, like thank God that lady was willing to pay her fine. But if she didn't want to pay the fine, what's the library going to do? You know what I mean?
I,
Like the library waives that fine, but say the library's being stuck and saying, "Oh, someone had for 100 years, somebody's got to pay." What's the woman going to do? Okay, I guess I have to pay it. The woman's going to be like, "Tough, I ain't paying it," you know.
I
And
mean, the
they're not going to arrest you if you don't pay your library fine. I mean, I
the fine. Let me just say the fine should never exceed the cost of the item. So
okay,
if you take out a John Grisham novel and it sells for $24.99, whatever, once your fines hit $24.99, just be like that's your book now. Um,
but
I mean,
I guess
you still got to pay that money, but it's your book. You just got to. But I think what I hesitate with is even making it a sale for 50 cents. And I think I'm more alert to this because there's uh, seeing people on a daily basis who, if you give them a $20 gift card to a grocery store, it's like they won the lottery. Um, People should have access to read for free. I don't know if that means you now make it you know, books just don't leave the library. You can come and hang out here and read, um, but you can't take them out of the library. I don't know, but or when in terms of the computers, don't have it where someone's coming on to play Minecraft for 3 hours.
right.
Be like you've got to like use it for a real something real, not just to sit there and play a computer game all day.
Well, protect certain programs or something. I don't know. And using your logic, like I was saying, maybe you have that ongoing book sale, but to your point, yeah, you don't want to charge for the ability to read or whatever. But maybe just say, hey, you can either buy that John Grisham book, or hey, here's a spot where you can sit and read it. You know what I mean? Like if you don't have the money or don't want to buy it, yeah, sit here and read it. Like I'm thinking it could be
Which
like
is currently true at the. You can just sit in the library and
I guess what I'm saying is I want to take out the borrowing books that the library may never see again, or B, this whole crap of, oh, if you don't turn back in time, we're going to charge you 10 cents a day. So yeah, I am describing what the library does, but I just want to take out the fines. I mean, these are fun stories to read and talk about, but I don't know, man. Well, like my wife used to never take library stuff back, and she ticked me off because she would like have stuff back late, and she's like, "Oh, I had to pay $30 in library fines." Oh, she was horrible, and I'm like, "You are single-handedly paying their budget." So I know the library fines stink. I understand why they have to have fines. I'm just saying, how do we make this work better? And when I worked in journalism,
maybe. And here's a left field thought.
okay,
Maybe the problem's not on the library's end.
it's on me,
Maybe
right?
the problem's in the on the pew end of
Yes, that's
put
true.
a
That's true.
post-it note on something like, "Hey, Saturday, run these back to the library before we get fined."
I know. Well, this is good. All right, you win. Well, let me know what you think. Are you team Paul, who actually abides by the rules of the library, or are you team me, who, yeah, I am busy, but I'm probably not too busy to stop stuff off the library. I think we're too busy for stuff that we don't want to do. Maybe that's a better way of explaining it. I mean, we're all busy with stuff, but stuff that we don't want to do, we tend to be really busy for. So maybe that's my thing. Like,
Like
I don't
returning
want to.
somebody else's property when they let you borrow it.
Right, right. I'm a horrible person. Yeah, it's true. All right. Well, we're going to sneak a segment on because The election's coming up soon. We got to talk about that. So please listen in. We may get a little passionate. So for Paul, this is Chris. Have a great day, everybody.